The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Welcome to the Dogish podcast, the only podcast dedicated to dog parents and the topics, events, and personalities impacting their lives. My name is Jasen Arias, co-founder of Furever USA, the dog photography experience for you and the dog who stole your heart. And with me, as always, is my lovely co-host, Miss Sylvia Wes, owner of Dog Up in This Bitch Dog Training. Hello, how are you today?
I'm doing so good. I'm extra excited for today's episode.
That's funny because I'm extra nervous for today's episode.
I know, but that's just because you're giving up creative control. So I'm going to kick Jasen the heck out of here and bring his wife on, who will be, so I will be hosting by myself. I'm a little nervous about that. I'm not going to lie, Jasen.
Are you going to be good with the timer again today?
I will do my best.
I think you're going to crush it.
I'm going to do great. And I'm really excited to talk with Christy.
Do you know what I'm like the most excited about?
What?
I am so excited to listen to the podcast and hear your dog mom joke.
Well, yep. All right. I've been so excited to do this. Like when Christy booked this interview and like I knew I was going to get to do the joke by myself because Jasen decided he didn't want to be a part of the interview.
I figured it'd be fun to have a girl day.
Together.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So we're going to do a lady takeover. We're going to have like a little ladies who lunch Dogish podcast day. So Jasen, out with you, out. In with Christy. Looking forward to it. I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Off you go.
Hi, Christy.
Hi.
Welcome to the Dogish podcast.
Thank you.
The culmination of happenstance meeting because of your brilliant tour across America, Rescued Heroes Road Tour. How are you? I'm so excited to be doing this. Can I just say?
I know, me too. I'm so excited. When you and Jason started doing this, I was a little jealous because I love you. You're my person too.
Yes, you're still my person.
To be here.
Me too. Yeah. Well, Christy and I have been scheming behind the scenes to kick Jasen out of here for quite some time and do a podcast takeover Ladies' Day. So here we are finally doing it. So just a little bit about, it's been a while since our host introduction aired and everyone got to know how Jasen and I met each other. So I would just love to hear like your version of the event on how we met all of us.
Well, I'm going to give you my raw feelings because that's what I do. I'm a big feeler.
Do it.
So I remember because Jasen was just like talking about how much I'm going to love you, how bubbly you are. He was just gushing over you before we met. We met in, was it LA or San Diego?
LA.
Okay. And so we're in the RV, we're making our way there. And I remember everybody getting out of the RV before me and I could see you. And I was like, oh my gosh, what if she doesn't like me? Like, what if the energy doesn't match? I was super, super nervous to meet you for the first
way.
time. Yes.
Get out of town.
Some women just you don't know. So, and at that time, because that was 2 years ago, I was super nervous and we were just doing something really big and you're a really big personality too. I just remember being really nervous. And then I walk out and we're both like, hi. It all was gone. And you were like my best friend within like 30 seconds of meeting.
Legit.
Energy just like.
We took too many selfies together that day.
We did, but I was just so happy because it felt so good.
I know, it was like all in the name of like promotion.
Yes. No,
we
it
were just
was.
building a lifelong friendship. That's
It
all.
was. It's just so powerful when you can meet another woman that is good energy and strength. And, you know, when two great energies like that come together, it's just perfect. It just feels so good. One doesn't have to work hard for the other. It was just perfect. Yeah.
I love that. So we met, for those who haven't listened to the host introduction. So we met at a restaurant.
Yeah.
It
was a dog-friendly restaurant, of course.
Dog-friendly restaurant. The wallpaper, though, do you remember that wallpaper?
I remember the beautiful dogs everywhere. Was it the wallpaper? Was it a statue that I'm remembering?
There was also a statue.
Okay. It was do you remember the name of the place? Because it was a gorgeous place.
Sadly, no.
Oh, we'll have to ask Jason. It was so good.
I know. And then your giant RV rolls up.
Right in front of it.
You climb out. It's you, Jason, your two children, your assistant, and your two dogs.
Gosh, it was so many of us. So it was like a circus coming out.
So what was that like? I mean, living with your husband and your kids in such close quarters.
I have to say.
How long were you on the tour?
Well, first I have to say, when we were interviewing nannies, one of my major questions was, how do you feel with confrontation with your mom and dad? Like when that happens, when they get in a little argument or something, because I needed to make sure that whoever was with us could handle confrontation and know that it's okay. It will blow over, you know, because that happens. We're in a little space. Yeah. And the tour, it was, gosh, I don't remember how many days it was, but we left like the first week of June and then didn't get back until like the first week of August. So, and all the way around the United States. It was amazing. Like I miss it. It was before COVID hit the summer before. So thank God we did that.
Yeah.
The world is so different now.
So different. I mean, it's crazy to think of you like jumping out of the RV as a total stranger and then like locking arms.
Yeah. Oh, I'm a huge energy reader, like right upon, meeting. You just know. And why hold back? You know what I mean? We're here for such a short time that you should embrace all the great energy that you can.
All of the embracing once COVID ends.
Yes,
I can't wait to have you again.
Oh God! Oh my gosh! Even when I just get to work with a client in the studio with my mask on still and 6 feet away, I'm like, "Hi, how are you?" Because I love them so much and miss them.
I can totally relate to that. So I have a question for you when we get back from the break. We're going to take a quick break, and then I want to talk to you more about that.
Beautiful.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see, every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
So, hugging all of your clients in the studio, I totally relate to that. I am also a very huggy, touchy, feely businesswoman. But what I would love to hear from you is, because we've heard Jason's version of things, right?
Okay.
So now I want to hear
totally different people.
Like night and day, you guys.
Yes.
Night and day. So talk to me about how this business got started. Talk to me about like how in the heck you became a pet photographer.
Oh my gosh. It was not something I ever saw coming, ever. And I think I even said at one point in my life that I wouldn't, because I couldn't have control of animals, but I could have control of people. And because you can mold and move and instruct people. With animals. That is not what's going to happen when you're photographing them. Just like little children, it's the same thing. So we were at a place where we had been photographing weddings, all over the world, with families, all of it. We had moved to Reno, and we wanted to do something that we were using our talents to give back in some way. And we stumbled upon a project, an open space where we could just freely do whatever we wanted in the space. And we thought, well, we need to utilize this in a way to give back. And also, how can we uplift the space that we're in? We're going to create something that would elevate them as well.
This is like a gallery?
It was at a hotel. And so the hotel was pet friendly and one of the only ones in Reno. And we thought, okay, well, let's work with a local shelter and start photographing the shelter dogs, and we'll put the art pieces up. And then because that elevates the hotel and mixes with their brand. And then we launched Furever Reno, which was all about photographing people with their dogs. And it's all about just capturing the energy that goes between them, because what we love the most about our animals is who they are when we're with them, because we don't know who they are without us. So of course they are who they are when they're with us, and that's what we love the most. And so we started photographing them with their people, and then from there we put them in a book, and we're able to give back to the shelter through that. So that's where it started. And then when it started, I looked at Jason after feeling these people and what this meant to them. And I said, I can't unknow what I know and what I've experienced. I can't go back. I couldn't go back. And this sounds awful, but just photographing families, because these dog moms, and a lot of them they were single dog moms. And this was their person, their people in their life. And they would come to the shoot, and it was as if no one had ever given them permission that this was normal, that they were able to love as openly and as freely and as wildly as we do our children on our phones. And we were giving them permission to love their dogs that way as people. And they were sobbing, they were crying. They were so thankful. And that's where I want to live. I want to live in a space where I'm making a difference in someone's life. And I believed in it and do believe in it and could feel it. It was like everything. And so there was no turning back.
So at the time, were you a dog mom too, or just a mom?
No, I was a dog mom, but not at the level I am now. Honestly, each of these people that came through, they transformed me. You know, they were healing me and helping me as much as I was them. So they all opened my heart and my mind in ways that I had never experienced.
So break that down, because you're saying the word healing, and I feel like that's a very choice word. So what was the wound? Like, what were they healing for you in terms of like your ability to love and show love for an animal, for a pet?
I was seeing my dogs as people for the first time, and for people we're really healing for each other, but that still comes with judgment. It comes with, just feelings that kind of hold us back from completely feeling and it being about that person. Animals don't do that. When they love you, it's unconditional. So it's the purest love that you can get. And so I just started to recognize who my guys, my Max and Brownie, I'm like, who my daughter and my son were, and I have 2 other sons, but that's what I was about to say, but who they were and how healing they were in our lives. Like, the boys would start having a bad day or just like really sad, and you would see Max crawl up in his lap and make him laugh. Like, they are, the power that they have with the kids and with us was something us as humans don't have with each other. And I didn't recognize that before my clients started sharing everything with me. And then I was like brought out of this dark black hole of, holy shit, like I already have this in my life. I can't believe that I didn't see this, and the power and the strength that's here. Oh my God, everybody needs to know this. And I just, couldn't stop from there.
I love that. So Brownie and Max, now did you and Jasen get them together? Talk to me about your 2 little, no? Okay.
No. So.
Okay, talk to me about this.
Brownie came
now there's a 3rd one.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And she's in.
Miss Lucy.
She's in. Okay. So what happened with that? They're funny stories though, because we had Nina and she was 17 years old. We knew that she wasn't going to be with us for much longer. She was a queen that only loved Jasen and basically looked like she wasn't alive if Jasen wasn't home. Like, one time, the house cleaner thought that she had passed away while they were there because she doesn't and they called him, and then he comes home and she's like, like he was the chosen one in her life. Okay.
They were soulmates.
They really were soulmates. Okay. And he was always his first girl. And I was never. Nina. He had Nina before.
So hold on.
Met.
He had before you met. Okay.
Yes. And we've been together 11 years. Okay.
So Nina was.
That was his.
Was Nina your first dog, or that was his first?
Oh, that was his first dog. Oh, and then I moved into that relationship.
Oh, so you were the other woman.
I was the other woman. Absolutely. Okay. And she made that clear all the time. Side eye.
Catching everybody up.
Yes. Side eye for 7 years of her life with me.
Oh my goodness.
It didn't stop. And so then Jasen's dad, who at the time owned Charlie's Place, he created a doggy daycare because there was not one that was good enough for his dogs. So he just created this amazing, elaborate space for dogs, and huge dog advocate and lover himself. And somebody had dropped off a dog to him which was Brownie, because they were gonna move or something, and Brownie was always in the backyard, never had love, any of it, and they just didn't love her. And so she went over and said, can I take her? Can I take her off your hands? And they said yes. And then Ed had Brownie, and then he called us and said, I've got this gorgeous girl, do you want to meet her? And I'll tell you what, though, even though she's with us now, Grandpa, which is Ed, is her first love. So when he comes over to the house, we don't exist. She knows who saved her, and that is Ed. Yeah. And then, so I didn't really know her or anything. I think I was out of town. You're going to see a pattern here. I was out of town when Brownie came into our life, and Jasen did all of this. Then with Max, I was out of town. I think I was in New Jersey, and he goes to the shelter and gets Max and videos it and everything. And I come home and there's Max. So he got 2 dogs while I was not here. Yeah. Yeah.
That's very special.
I know. And then you know all about Lucy, right? How she just showed up. And I went and saw a pet psychic about her.
Did you?
So, oh, God.
Okay,
yes.
hold on.
I know. There's so much.
I have so many questions. But I just like, so to rewind, so Lucy is essentially the only dog that's arrived into your family while you've been present.
Yeah, yes, you're right. She is. I woke up to her playing in my backyard with Brownie.
You found Lucy.
You know what? Yes. And I named her. And then I found out from the pet psychic that was actually her name.
Wow. Okay, we're going to get into all of that. I just got the chills.
I know.
But I'm so happy that you finally have your own dog, apparently.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jason, for leaving Christy out of all the executive dog adopting experiences.
Yes, he did. But they're all beautiful. They're all part of our family.
They are. I love your kiddos. They're so cute. So previous to Jason, like, had you been a dog mom before that? Or like, talk to me about your history with dogs.
No, I grew up I grew up in Northern Kentucky, and we had never had like a dog that was part of the family. Now I explain it as they were yard dogs. So they would go in and out of the garage, and they had a whole a whole invisible fence yard. Never, ever, ever like a part of our life. So now knowing the difference, that doesn't count. I did not really have dogs. I'm like really bothered by the fact that was our normal growing up, and my dad even broke that. As we all moved out and my mom passed away, he was, I want to say stuck in the beginning. He was stuck with my mom's dog, which was a little lap dog. And then she changed him too. There is no such thing as a yard dog in our families anymore.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, I grew up very similarly.
Yeah.
Big ranch in Temecula. And my parents never were like dog people.
Yeah.
And then Tallulah, who's my late rescue, who just passed in November, totally changed our entire family. Now,
isn't that amazing?
It's amazing. My parents own 2 little white. One is a Bichon Shih Tzu mix, and the other one is a Maltipoo. And they own 2 little white lap dogs, whom for Christmas, legit, my dad requested footy pajamas for his Bichon because he could not find a pair that would fit him. And I was like, I'll get him pajamas.
Of course you would.
That's what he requested. My dad, who's like this gruff, garage 1950s greaser guy who always believed like you needed a big dog to like protect your property, now has a Bichon in footy pajamas.
Yeah.
So you're welcome,
incredible.
World.
Right. That is one of the most fascinating, gorgeous things that I get to witness through all of my shoots. When a man comes in, and they usually try to like not be part of the whole shoot. They won't. A lot of times they'll even avoid like the getting to know you phone calls. And I have to do and then I overwork myself to do discovery and connection during the shoot with the dad. Those men are the men that cry when they see their photographs for the first time, because we as society don't give them permission to just melt and just be their true authentic self, out in public or with anyone outside of their home, with their animals or even with their children. I mean, we're starting to break that down, but society just doesn't give men that permission. They just don't think that it's like manly enough. And they are like, you see the biggest life change, and thank you. And oh my God, I had no idea when they come through and do the photo shoots and see that light and that exchange. It's so powerful. So I think it's so rad that you're even seeing that in your dad, because I saw it in my dad too. It just melts my heart.
It's amazing. Okay, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
We're going to come back. I want to dive into this animal psychic experience. I have so many questions. Okay, we'll be right back.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together. All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was
the
fine.
most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
That'll be $73.11.
Do you have a charity that I can donate up to?
You just did.
But I didn't select any option.
It happened just by using your credit card. We recently changed our payment processing to Gratis Gives, who not only saves our company a ton of money on processing fees, but also donates a portion of every purchase to a participating local nonprofit.
Why doesn't every business do that?
If they switch to Gratis Gives like we did, they can.
Achieve real social change by contacting Gratis Gives at 855-464-7284 or online at gratisgives.com.
Dear John, I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to when you checked on me? I don't want to leave, but remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart and don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range today. For help keeping yours at a healthy range, text PRESSURE to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard, so you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman!
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
Okay, and we're back. Hilarious things ensued during the break. We will have to have that sit as recorded as just a part of, for our members. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
We're back to it. We're here. So before the break, we were gushing over just allowing men the permission to be the loving, compassionate, caring human beings that they are. And I think that was something that connected me so deeply with your family. And I've had feedback from friends and coworkers who are listening to the podcast, and they're like, you and Jasen talking together, it's just so natural. It seems like you've been friends forever. And I think it's just because he literally just has permission to be a dog dad. And I think that's what we're really trying to create here.
Yeah.
A culture that we're trying to create around Dogish podcast, which is you can authentically love your animal and gush over them and be a dog parent exclusively if that's your jam, and on
steroids, because they only get to be with us for a minute. Do you know what I mean?
So unfair. I can't believe how quickly they come and go.
I know.
So I wanted to talk to you about, because this was something I considered doing with Tallulah, but I ended up not having enough time to do. But talk to me about this experience you had with the animal psychic.
My gosh.
What inspired you? First of all, why did you call her?
Okay, so I did not set this up. I have a friend who runs a rescue here in Reno, and she's one of my best friends. And we're sitting here, and she says, I'm going to call she's called the dog psychic for her rescues many times, you know, to get to know them and to be able to communicate with them on a different level while they're in her home kind of thing. And so we're sitting on the couch and she says, I'm going to set up a call with her on Wednesday for one of her dogs. And she says, do you want to do it with me? And then I'll give you some time to talk to her too. And I was like, okay, you know, I didn't think much of it. And then we did it in the car the other day, and I let her go first because I wasn't sure. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, how real is this? You know, what is this? You know, and then she started talking to my friend about her dogs, and I was just really taken back by some of the things that she was saying and how she went about it, because she would pause and she would mute everything, and you could, like, she was going to talk to the dog, and then she'd come back on and she would talk about it. And then when it was my turn, we were talking, we didn't really tell her anything about Lucy, but she immediately just stopped us and said, stop, she's already talking to me, and you guys you're just keep going, so stop, because I can't keep up with it. And we were telling her, we told her a little bit about her, and then she goes, basically, this is what it broke down to. She started crying when she was telling me, because she said most dogs don't go into the details of their past, and they're not as, like, they don't highlight it and detail it nearly as much. And she said Lucy came from a man that loved her so much, and that she was 6 weeks old, and he would put her in his jacket, and that he was a transient. So he wasn't homeless, but he would go, and I don't know if if Jason said this at all, but from our footage that we caught, we thought he was homeless, bringing her in. Okay. But her paws didn't look like they were street worthy homeless, you know. They were still really beautiful and pink. And so she says he really, really, really loved her, and he was preparing her for this. And they talked about it, and he was very, very intuitive. He was able to connect with her on a deeper level. And for about a month and a half, they were coming by, and him and Lucy would talk about it, you know, like, this is going to be your new home. This is who you're going to be with someday. And he would come up to the fence, and Brownie, to my surprise, because she's the one that's aggressive with her yard, evidently she was the one that was like, okay, yeah, we're friends. You can come into my yard. And Max was like, oh, hell no, this is not okay. These are, you know, you are not supposed to be here. The rules are the rules. And he even acted like that once she was here. And he just kept coming back. And she said, so it was an agreement between Brownie, Lucy, and him. And he was prepping her. You've got to be a good girl. This is going to be your home. And then she started to get really emotional, because she said this isn't something that he wanted to do, but it's something he had to do, because she said she didn't know what it was, but that he was terminal, that he knew he was going to be going away, whether that meant, but she used the word terminal, if he had an illness or if he was going to be moving away, you know, she didn't know, but that he kept telling her, you've got to be a good girl. They're going to love you. You're going to have 2 boys, a mom and a dad, and you know, the 2 siblings that are dogs, you know, all of it. And I was like, this is wild to me, because when we woke up and Brownie and her are playing in the backyard, it blew my mind, because Brownie's so protective. I'm afraid of dogs around her, because she just was, and especially with female dogs, she's just not friendly around female dogs that are her size or bigger. And they were playing like they knew each other forever. And they did. They knew each other. And then I asked her, I said, what was her name before she came to us? And she went and asked, and she said, well, her name was Lucy. And I said, oh, you're kidding me, right? You're kidding. And she said, no. And I said, because that's what I named her, like, right off. And I even said it after I said Lucy. She looked at me and I said, oh, look, wouldn't that be funny if that was her name before we got her? So I was intuitively saying the things that, you know, could potentially be the reality. And then the pet psychic was telling me these things before she knew that I had already linked into that. And then Max didn't, he he's just now warming up to her. It's been about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks now. And he's just now warming up to her. But it all fit, like how Max was like, no, this isn't supposed to be. This is not. Like the rules are set and she's not part of them.
The curmudgeon. Max is such a curmudgeon. No, I mean, I think, so honestly, it's like taking everything in me to not be sobbing right now. I'm like doing a very good job.
I cried when she told me, good job.
I'm like literally tearing up, but I cry almost every podcast at this point. So whatever, it happens. What I think is just so incredible about this whole story is just, and this is going to trip you out, but when Jasen told, I think we were on with, who are we interviewing? Billy, I think, in New York.
I love Billy.
And Jasen told us the story and he was like borderline upset. And Billy and I both were like, yeah, but you know what? How amazing is it that this human loved his dog so much that he probably saw your dogs in the yard and saw the house and was like, this is a safe place for me to leave my dog. And he didn't just like abandon her somewhere. Like that is something that says that like this person thoughtfully curated your home. And Jasen was like, yeah, that's kind of crazy to think that like somebody just may have picked us to leave their dog with. But that was totally, Billy and I were like, oh no, like someone loved their dog so much that they left her there. Like neither of us, and then I remember afterwards you coming in and you were very upset. When we
it
were
was
done
scary
recording.
at first.
You were like, we have children. Like,
I was, because I was in it, you know, it's, as a society too, we do tend to go to the negative first before we get through it and we process it and then we feel positive. And I was just like, because Brownie is so possessive over her yard. And I just thought, what if the kids were out there with Brownie when this happened? And my kids are like, they love dogs, you know, and then Brownie would have freaked out on this dog. And then my kids would have been traumatized seeing that, you know, when my kids, and they know all the rules, we take them through shelters, you know, they're very, very educated about, you know, rescue dogs and how to approach them, any dog. But the fear came in first. And I remember my stomach dropped when I saw the video of him leaving her, because he came into our backyard, into our gate, to leave her like he'd been here before. I know he hasn't been in our backyard before, and it makes sense now knowing that he, you know, was basically scouting this out to leave her with someone that he knew would love her. But it was scary, and it took me some time to process, and it's really cool to learn her as we're going, though, because you can see in her face that she's like, I'm a good girl. I'm being a good girl, right? You love me. You want me here. I'm a good girl. Look, I can shake. And she shakes, and she's teaching the other dogs to sit, you know, stiller. And she's playing with them and bringing more play into our family. Like, she's beautiful. And she's a healer, too. I was leaning up against the kitchen after this had just happened. It was just a little, like a day or so after this had happened, and I was in the kitchen and I was having a moment, and she comes in and comes up to me and puts her arms around me, like holds me. And then Jasen's sitting on the couch struggling with something, and she comes over and puts her head on his knee. Like, she's a healer, which makes sense because who she was with before, you know, was very intuitive, and they were very bonded, and she was healing him as well. You know, with everything that he's going through. So she's amazing. And I keep meaning to, I need to write a note and put it on the fence, because I have to believe he still comes by and checks on her.
Of course.
I'm going to write a note and leave it for him, just thanking him for everything that she's brought into our life and for trusting us. I'm sorry.
I'm like literally crying. I can't focus. No, I think... Yeah. And I think that this is just it's so incredible when you take a step back and you really think about the power that dogs bring into our lives. And what I find so fascinating, just like in having done a few of these interviews now and talking to different people and just learning so many different perspectives. Like, I think back to the interview we did with the amazing vet and, you know, his take on, David's take on homeless animals and like how impactful they actually are to their people. And so, I don't know, it's just like all of this information is coming into my body at once, and I love it, and it's incredible. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, mostly so that I can compose myself. And then we're going to come back, and I want to talk to you about just about the badass woman in business that you are. So we'll be right back.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school. Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool, and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us.
We're back. So Christy has just finished turning me into a complete puddle. Thank you. Had to take a quick break to literally compose myself.
It's so good to feel.
It's so good. All right. So now I want to talk to you about being a woman in business, because I am also a female entrepreneur. And so I want to talk to you about, talk to me about being a pet photographer, because you are the photographer part of this whole Furever photographer. So talk to me about that.
It's the part I choose and love the most. And I love that I don't have to do all of the things that Jasen does, because I get to really hone in and focus and live in my happy space, which is granting and holding space for all of my clients. Anyone that comes in the door, I get to hold this gorgeous space of vulnerability and transparency, and I already know who you are and the way you talk, the silly talk with your animals at home. We are the same person, and that is 100% more than okay to be that person here in this space. And there is no judgment, only celebration. And so through this pandemic, it has really, really brought to my awareness every time I get to photograph someone, because it is further and fewer right now, how much I enjoy serving people and making them feel so good, and then getting to do it through something that's so pure and real in their life, that they could take for granted in their everyday, and just amplify that in their life, and they leave like, thank you, oh my gosh, this is like therapy, this is better than therapy, I feel so good. And they just they feel more connected to their family as a whole, their pack as a whole, by time they leave. And to me, that's the greatest gift. Like, that is purpose. That's what I want to always do and keep doing for people.
Amazing. So you basically went from yard dogs to wedding photographer traveling around the world, to an intermediary, they're becoming a dog mom, to becoming an obsessive dog mom.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. But I don't care. I'm standing up for all
it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And then that in turn has created this entire business, because you essentially designed the Furever USA road tour. That was your idea, correct?
I did. I dreamt about it. Yeah. And then I woke up the next morning and said, you're going to think I'm crazy, but we're supposed to do this. And then we told our business partners, and they were like, yeah, let's do it. Okay. If Christy dreamt it, we're doing it. So we did it.
Incredible. So talk to me about what's next. Like, what is your next entrepreneurial boss lady project?
Oh my
what do you got? What irons do you have in the fire?
It's not dog related though, but the dog psychic did bring something up to where I was like, really? Okay, I'm feeling this. And I actually had a moment where I thought about it like a week before I talked to her. But through all of this, one of my friends wanted to celebrate her girlfriends. And so we put together like little pods of 4 women here and there, and put these parties together to where we are uplifting and empowering each other. So it's only women, and they have to be 40 and over. And it's all about just owning your goddess, owning who you are, breaking down, the society standards of what beauty is and who we're supposed to be as we're getting older, and to stop saying our age, because our body doesn't need to hear that nonsense. We are exactly who we are, and just perfectly beautiful and powerful in this moment that we are, no matter what society grants as beauty. And the sad thing is a lot of us women don't actually see how gorgeous and powerful we are, but the ones around us that love us the most do. And so we are getting to finally see ourselves the way others see us already. And we put all these roadblocks up in front of ourselves and beat ourselves down, constantly. So right now, we're doing a lot of work to bring some Furever ideas online, since we're not able to be in the studio as much and people aren't going in as much. So we're going down a path of helping and answering some questions and giving people access to things that they ask us in the studio when they come in for themselves.
Elaborate.
Okay, so like people, a lot of my clients will say, like, when they have a black dog, which I love photographing black dogs, because they don't have a single photograph on their phone of the black dog, because they only can see their eyes.
I do.
And then when I photograph them, they're like, oh my gosh, you can see every hair, because I know how to light black dogs, and I love it. And
yes, you photographed my black dog, and I was like, she looks beautiful.
That's right.
She's in the book. We're in the book. We're in the back of the Furever book.
Yes. And so, we're putting together a class on how you can photograph your dog that has black fur at home with your iPhone. So we're putting together educational classes for how dog moms can photograph their dogs with their iPhone from home.
Just at home.
Yeah. I mean, it could be anywhere, but we're doing it from home because we're kind of all in our houses.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know what I mean? Like,
a tiny bit.
Our pups are spoiled rotten right now with us being home over the past year. So,
yes.
Yeah. So that's in the works. And then what I was telling you about with the Women Empowerment Project, that's called the Goddesses Project, which I haven't even launched yet. but it's in my soul. And
It's
cooking. And I did, I've done about 12 women through it. And honestly, the women left saying they saw themselves differently. They saw themselves in a way that they had never given themselves permission to see and love themselves. So my mission in this life is to serve people and to make them feel good and empowered, about themselves, if that's whatever avenue that's through, and with Furever, it's through their fur babies.
I love that.
Thank you.
You are such a beam of light. I have had just absolutely way too much fun with you today. We may need to kick Jasen out more.
Oh man, stop it.
Don't. That'll hurt his feelings. So as you know, because you listen to our podcast, unlike Jasen.
He doesn't. He doesn't
listen
himself.
Whatever.
I listen to it. I'm addicted. I love it.
Yes. Okay. So as you know, we close every.
Oh, girl, get it.
I have been dying to do the joke. Like, you have no idea. I have been dying to do it.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm not a dog dad, like I can't tell like a dad joke.
Yeah.
So I can't tell like a dog dad joke. So I, in lieu of the dog dad joke, I'm just going to be very punny right now.
Get it, girl. This is all
okay. Let me do like a little hair.
Okay,
there you go.
Ready. Ooh, I heard a song. Come on with that one.
I feel ready now. Okay. Why do Dalmatians hate the rain?
I don't know.
They don't want to step in a poodle.
This is really good. I love all these jokes. This is so good.
I did it.
You did it.
I'm so proud of myself.
I love it. So good.
Right.
Oh, I'm sad
Christy,
this is over.
I'm sad this is over, but also kind of glad because I'm going to need to just go like collect myself emotionally, like pick up all of the pieces of me. No, but this was so wonderful and you're so lovely. And I'm so glad that we met. And
me too.
You're definitely like a soul friend. And I'm so happy that we all are in each other's lives. And I can't wait to finally get to meet Lucy when all of this clears up. Yeah. I've decided like right now after this, I'm coming to Reno.
Oh, yay. Do it, girl.
I'm just going to come. Like
I'm ready for you.
It's done.
Oh gosh. I don't know what Jasen's going to feel about that with the two of us getting together.
He's going to be like, no, she can't be here.
Oh God. He'll be leaving. Like, I need a break. From all this sunshine and happiness.
He's like, I just can't. I can't bring my energy to the level.
Oh God.
So, okay. Well, I love you so much.
I love you. Thank you.
I can't wait to have you back. And thank you so much for coming on today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, you beautiful queen.
Too. Thank you. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
I want to take a quick moment to thank everyone for listening today and to thank my beautiful guest, Christy Arias. Just remember that anything we talked about today, including Christy's new exciting class and her future Goddess Workshop, will be listed and linked in the notes at thedogishpodcast.com. Please make sure to check us out on social, Dogish Podcast on Instagram. We've got Christy from Furever USA and me at Dog Up in This Bitch. If there's a topic or personality that you would like to hear on our show, please let us know. And if you haven't yet, please like and or subscribe to the Dogish Podcast so you can get updated on any new episodes that are coming out. Christy, this was so fun. Thank you so much. I love you to pieces.
Thank you. I love you too. I'm allowed to talk, right?
Yeah, of course you are. All right, everybody. We will see you next Tuesday. And thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.